I'm looking at how to connect this Tascam DP24SD to a Apple iPad. Now it'll work for the DP24 as well, which is slightly different because it has the CD burner on it. It's all the same. This is how I did it. I read up on a few different ways of doing this, and I had some advice off a friend as well, which just didn't work. I mean, it's far more complicated than you would think. You can buy interfaces for these. The problem with an interface, it needs to be charged, so the power needs to come from the actual unit you're using, and an iPad's not powerful enough to run an interface. So I bought an interface, or tried a few different interfaces, and when I actually researched it and looked into it, it was a lot more complicated. And because again it's Apple, you have to get a certain unit that connects to the Apple iPad, then you can connect to a power supply. So anyway, I bought a few different devices and I connected them together, and I found something that works really well. It's really simple and it just works. And then I record that then onto a Cubase. I mean, if you're using Logic or whatever, it would just be the same. So I'll show you the connections I use and how I go from here to my iPad and then record. I'll put some links in the description to some music I have recorded this way. There's very little difference I can tell in sound quality from the desk to the iPad, and it saves a lot of money. That hopefully this tutorial will help people that are having a similar problem. Someone has asked me to do this. What I'll also do is in the description I'll try and find all the little devices that I bought them off eBay, and I'll put links in there, so if you want to go and buy the exact ones, I will try and source them and put them in the description for you. Okay, so this is the first thing I bought, and this is quite a long lead on this, a long cable. And these two first jacks, they're just the normal jacks that would use for a guitar lead. This is my Fender custom shop lead that just goes into the guitar, so exactly the same there. So you've got two of them there, which goes into this one end, which is a stereo, and this stereo end here is a TRS connection. Now what I do here now, I bought this barrel here is a TRS to TRS connection, so they're both exactly identical both ways. So now that there, so you're turning this male connection now into a female connection. So the lead now that you need is this one, and this is the one that actually connects to the iPad. And to be fair, I tried a few different ones of these. I tried some cheaper versions and they didn't work. I'll show you the one I did buy. It's this one by Rode, and it's an SC7 cable, and now it's a TRS to a TRRS. This end will go straight into the iPad, and this end connects to the cable that we've just made up. So now, because we've gone from a male connection to a female connection, this SC7 cable now will fit in this end. So now you've got this running down here, and that will go to these two connections here, two mono connections, and that's now running to this TRRS. Now that goes into the iPad, and this here goes into the back on the output for the speaker output on this desk. So now I'm looking at the back of the Tascam DP24, and here you can see the monitor out. Now that's where these two connections, the two guitar connection type, they go in there. So all we need to do now is connect this SC7 into our iPad. Now when I'm working, I'm using Cubasis. This is Cubasis 2, but it does also work on Cubasis 3 or whatever. It's all the same. All I do now is press record on here, press play on here, and pick my track, and whatever is coming through records really well straight onto whichever track you want. So it is a brilliant way of doing it. It's a really simple way of doing it, and I hope this really helps.